watching Halton News right here on your TV. It's Wednesday, April 29th, and I'm Jessica Kading. 5 more people have confirmed positive for COVID-19 since yesterday in Halton, but there are 4 less probable cases, so our new total number of cases that Halton Region has reported since the onset of the virus is 508. 59% of those have already fully recovered, while 4% have unfortunately passed away. Halton Hills Mayor Rick Bennett says we have to try and see the silver lining when reading into these COVID-19 numbers. Here's what he had to say.
And, during the pandemic, you got to try to read everything you can as positive, but the numbers in Halton Hills are 124. That's confirmed or probable, combined. And for the last 5 days, we've only been gaining about 1 per day, which is good news. So it's not spiking. It seems to be going on the low side of the bell curve. At least I hope so. If anything, it's flat. The curve is flattening, and that seems to be throughout the region. Yesterday, Halton Region had 507 cases. Today, we're 508 throughout all the Halton Region. So that's some good news, and the provincial numbers dropped. Let's hope it continues, but it went down from 525 yesterday to 370 today.
The village of Tansley Woods Retirement Home has been added to the list of institutional outbreaks, but at this time no patients are infected. An institutional outbreak is declared when at least 1 COVID-19 case is confirmed in a resident or an employee. In total, there have been 14 institutional outbreaks in Halton. 6 of those have resolved, 6 are ongoing, and by far the worst has been at Mountain View residents. But it seems like their trouble is now over. Melissa Candelaria reports.
It seems like the coast is clear at Mountain View residents following a COVID-19 outbreak that resulted in 8 deaths. That's according to Mayor Rick Bennett, who says Mountain View was officially cleared as of April 28th.
So there's no new cases, and that, when it says cleared, that means the 14 days is up. So they haven't had a case in 2 weeks now. So the region deems that as cleared now. And everybody's obviously been tested in the building.
It was initially reported that 63 residents and 18 staff were confirmed to have COVID-19, with the majority of those were asymptomatic. Bennett says seeing the number of cases in Halton Hills go up was concerning.
Halton Region, the Regional Medical Officer of Health, they're the ones that they keep the information, and we talked about a couple of weeks ago. I was quite concerned with the numbers in Halton Hills because they were rapidly increasing every day, and there had to have been a reason for it. And myself and a couple of counselors were hearing second and third hand that it's coming out of Mountain View residents. And then our Dr. McGanny had to check for the province under the Privacy Act, etc., if she could release the information. So she got it a week ago. I guess it'd be 2 weeks ago Friday. But she posted the numbers up immediately, and that gave a good explanation. But why the numbers in Halton Hills are so high. But again, what was the cause of it? Who was the first person who had it, or whether it was a staff person, whether it was one of the residents? We don't have that information.
So how did it happen? What was the cause? Wellington Halton Hills MPP Ted Arnott says it's unknown at this time.
I haven't received information from public health or from the ministry as to what happened at Mountain View, although I have been in contact with their staff. And I think that more information will be forthcoming as it is available, and I would hope that that would be the case. But at the same time, I think they are trying to observe the protocols that the public health unit are helping them with, and I'm sure that everything possible is being done to ensure that it doesn't continue and they contain it. So as to ensure the safety of all the residents and all the people who work there too.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.
Premier Doug Ford and his team announced today that they're expanding eligibility for free emergency childcare during the COVID-19 outbreak to those who work in the food supply chain, retirement homes, grocery stores and pharmacies, as well as to certain federal employees, including the military. Since emergency childcare was introduced last month, almost 100 childcare centers have reopened, along with 40 licensed home childcare agencies in communities across the province. For more information, including a list of emergency childcare centers available for your review at ontario.ca/coronavirus. For our federal update today, I was able to connect with Oakville North Burlington MP Pam Damoff. I started by asking her about the commercial rent assistance program announced recently by our Prime Minister.
I heard a lot from local businesses as well as the chambers of commerce in both Burlington and Oakville that sort of the missing piece of the puzzle was commercial rent. Now that falls 100% within provincial jurisdiction, but what we did was working with the provinces, have come up with agreements with all provinces and territories so that there's a program in place for commercial tenants for a rental reduction. Now, not all of the details are out right now, but many of them are on the CMHC website, which is administering it. But it basically, in agreement with your landlord, will see a reduction in your rent by 75%.
Wow, and on the landlord's end, what does that mean for them?
Well, and that's what I'm starting to hear now is that landlords are required to put up 25% of the cost, and I have heard from landlords that say that's not fair to me. It's putting me in a precarious position, and I think we need to balance both of those. Having said that, as a landlord, if you don't have any tenants in your building when we're through this, it's going to be even worse than a 25% rent reduction. So I think it's important for landlords and tenants to be talking to each other and seeing the best way to get through this. And certainly I've passed the landlord's concerns on to the government, but I've also heard from tenants that say my landlord doesn't want to play ball with me. So I think people need to be cooperating, much like you're seeing levels of government cooperating here. It's maybe not perfect, but I think we all need to be working together to get through this.
And another thing that came into place this week was the wage subsidy program for businesses and their employees.
Yeah, so on Monday, the portal opened where businesses can apply for the wage subsidy. I don't know the numbers as of today, but I know on Monday by 11 a.m., 10,000 businesses had applied. So that covers the government will cover 75% of the wages of eligible businesses. And it's really meant to try and encourage businesses to bring their employees back to work. Rather than having them relying on other government support systems. And quite frankly, I think most Canadians want to be working right now, provided that the conditions are safe and they know they can be kept safe and healthy. But I think it's encouraging businesses to bring their employees back to work, and we're going to support them to do that.
Now, why don't you tell us about virtual parliament and how that went?
Yeah, yesterday it was the first ever virtual parliament on Zoom, a secure Zoom technology, but it was over 300 MPs were on the call.
Wow.
The speaker called it to order. There's 338 MPs. Now, it wasn't perfect, and a few technical glitches. Overall, I actually thought the dialogue was incredibly cooperative, and I thought both questions and answers from the government ministers were really thoughtful and probably more civilized than what Canadians normally see on question period. But other than the audio issues, I thought it was extremely productive, and and it'll be broadcast. It's actually something that was a recommendation from our Status of Women Committee last year, was to have the House of Commons move to virtual sittings to encourage more women to enter politics. And so, because of the pandemic, it's forced the House administration to really fast forward the implementation of this. So if you think of women that maybe have just given birth, like my colleague Karina Gould did, rather than her having to be physically in the House, she could have participated virtually if it existed at the time. So anyway, I think it's a good move forward technology wise, and it also allows the opposition members to talk to the government members and ask questions about what we're doing, and you can see democracy in action.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that with us and for taking the time today. We look forward to catching up with you again next week. Some good news now regarding Cootes Paradise. After 24 billion liters of sewer overflow leaked into the watershed between 2015 and 2018, a study has concluded that remediation will not be necessary. SLR Consulting provided an environmental impact evaluation and had not found any adverse impact on fish or aquatic vegetation. Teladoc Health is a global organization linking medical professionals from around the world to develop and share best practices. They provide virtual access to healthcare professionals in many countries, including Canada. The Oakville Chamber of Commerce hosted a webinar on virtual medicine during a pandemic earlier today, which was aired on your TV. Dr. Jamal is an Oakville-based Canadian medical director of Teladoc, and he explained how providing virtual access to healthcare professionals has taken the strain off of our clinics and hospitals.
Ultimately, if we're able to take pressure off the healthcare system, and which is completely evident right now during this pandemic, more Canadians are going to be able to access the care that they need in a timely fashion. You know, working at the hospital locally, we see the number of patients who are having ER visits dramatically down, which you would think would be the opposite. But in fact, patients are able to access care through virtual care mediums, and they're able to be triaged instead of going to the emergency room. And the patients that are triaged and feel that the doctor feels that they need to be admitted to the hospital or go to the hospital, it's that they really need it.
The pandemic has forced the healthcare community to adopt new ways of communicating and sharing information, which will ultimately provide benefits for the future.
A lot of the things that we are learning from this pandemic, a lot of the emergency preparedness, technology, and how we can better assess patients, how we share things across the province, are all going to be here to stay. I can tell you that during this pandemic, we've had so many town hall meetings between multiple physicians, information sharing, things that we never did before. And so I think that this has brought us all together because we're fighting this all together. And it's only going to be here to stay, because once you start communicating this way, you can't really go back. And once you see that it's so effective, I think that it's really going to be really exciting for how we communicate and how we information share and how we prepare for this.
Dr. Jamal also explained how people's habits will change even after the crisis is over.
After COVID, we're going to see, masks being used more commonly. I think that we're going to, at the office place, when someone has a mild flu or the sniffles or sneezing, they're not going to just stick it out at work. They're going to understand that it's important for them to be home. Their colleagues are not going to look at them with the stigma. I think that, if you don't cough in your elbow, you're going to be looked at the same way if you don't, throw a pop can in the right recycling bin moving forward. So it's going to definitely be a change for the better. I also feel that we'll have a new respect for viruses like the flu. So when flu season comes, we'll be better prepared. We'll understand the importance of social distancing if you're unwell. And we're just going to be washing our hands a lot more, which is something that, we all talked about before, but we never really implemented on a grand scale.
The Downtown Oakville BIA has officially announced the cancellation of Midnight Madness this year due to COVID-19. Midnight Madness is an outdoor event that attracts up to 50,000 people each summer and has taken place downtown Oakville for the past 42 years. Movies in the Square, outdoor yoga, and TD Song Summer Series have also been officially canceled. The Georgetown Lions Club continues their work in helping the community. We caught up with Doug Perrenrentz about this morning, and they made some significant donations to 3 charities. Let's take a look.
Our club has always been very active in the community. For 89 years, the club has been instrumental in providing services and money to local facilities. Now, this pandemic is a little different for us. Our Lions Club members are not used to socially distancing because we're out in the community on a regular basis. But because of some of our really great fundraising efforts that we have done in the last 2 to 3 years, we did have the financial ability to maybe not be there in physically, but we would be there to provide to the hospital and other organizations with money that's really needed right now. So the donations we made this time is we were approached by the hospital, and they were having difficulties getting personal protective equipment. And because the prices had gone up on some of these things by 5,000%. So we thought, okay, so we donated $10,000 to the Georgetown Hospital Foundation to provide them with funds to get whatever they wanted and to protect their workers. And of course, the food bank, the Georgetown Bread Basket, was in dire need. More and more people are requiring food or are food insecure with this pandemic. And so their demand has gone up 450%. So we made a donation of $5,000 to the Georgetown breadbasket. And finally, we have another organization that we've been very active with. It's called Food for Kids. They every week provide food for 120 kids for children who won't have any food at home over the weekend. So these dedicated volunteers buy the groceries in bulk, then put them in bags and assemble them and take them to school every Friday. So these kids will have something to eat over the weekend. So with the pandemic, because the volunteers can't all get together to pack the produce, etc. So they're giving out gift cards, and this is more expensive for them. So we made a donation to Food for Kids of another additional $5,000. So our Lions Club contributed about $28,000 in the last couple of weeks to very organizations that needed help, and they needed help right now.
Still ahead, a local psychiatrist with tips and advice on how to keep your emotions under control during the added stress this pandemic is causing. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us here on Halton News. This COVID-19 crisis has resulted in unexpected social isolation and distancing, and with that, many emotions can arise in individuals. A local Oakville psychiatrist offers some healthy tips and reminds us what unhealthy habits to avoid when we feel our emotions start to run wild.
Hi, this is Dr. Bhattacharya from the Empathy Clinic in Oakville. Today I want to talk about triggers and mood modulation. So when we first get some emotion rising inside of us, it's kind of like kindling. When you rub two sticks together that are about to explode. What can happen sometimes with our own emotions is that if we're feeling agitated by something or upset by something, the first feeling we have is frustration when something is getting in our way. When that increases, it can become anger. We still know what we're upset about. But when that spills over, that can become rage, which means we're not directing those feelings at anything in particular. So anything that gets in the way can be the source of that expression. So it's really important to recognize what your emotions are, and so they don't spill out, especially on someone near you. So there are some healthy techniques that you can use to pay attention to that. But some unhealthy ones might be drinking, or feeling like you want to pick a fight with someone, or doing something might be harmful to yourself or somebody else. You gotta have adequate rest, know your limits, practice brain fitness, and if necessary, get professional help. Now, the other continuum is feeling calm versus feeling afraid and panicky. When this crisis started, a lot of people were panicking, understood. However, panic, again, like rage, isn't focused. If you know you can focus what your fear is, then you can get quickly to a safe place and get back to calm again by practicing the techniques like brain fitness. Thank you very much for paying attention. Be safe. See you next time.
And now let's take a look at our local weather forecast across the Halton region. Taking a look, we have some rain in our forecast for tomorrow and Friday. That's a 40% chance on both days, but warmer temperatures, and we'll continue to see that temperature increase up to 20 degrees as our high on Saturday. Still cloudy skies, however. By Sunday, that sunshine will make a reappearance. Still almost as warm, 19 degrees as our high. And then looking into next week, we'll start off with a mix of sun and clouds at 14 degrees. In business news, the Oakville Economic Task Force is working on economic recovery, and they've launched the Distantly.ca app in Oakville. This provides residents with the opportunity to donate to your favorite local business to help them through this time. The app provides immediate assistance to businesses without having to wait for recovery to begin. North American stocks advanced sharply today, with the TSX up almost 3%. Here's a look at some of those closing numbers. We do need to take another short break. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us here on Halton News. I'm Jessica Kading. The Burlington Food Bank has been providing us with daily updates, and today the focus is on quality. The Burlington Food Bank offers the same quality of fresh produce that you find at the local grocery store. They never buy end-of-cycle produce, so in addition to a box of non-perishables, those in our community who need assistance are getting high-quality, fresh and nutritious fruits and vegetables as well.
We just want to make sure that people understand what they're getting if they do end up having to contact us, either with the info@burlingtonfoodbank.ca or giving us a call at 905-637-2273. You'll receive a box of food as well as a couple of the other boxes that we were showing you yesterday. But on top of that, it's really fresh produce. Like, we're buying our produce from a local wholesalers and making sure that we're getting you as fresh as we can. It's apples, oranges, potatoes, carrots, green peppers, red peppers, zucchini, cucumbers, celery. It all depends on what we've purchased that week, but you're getting lots and lots of fresh as well. We're trying to make sure that we're giving people as nutritious a diet as we can, as well as some of those staples that you need in your pantry just to make things work, like, you know, those great diced tomatoes and different things for making different meals. So if you need our assistance, we've had great support from the community of Burlington, and we're able to do that on behalf of all the residents of Burlington and the different businesses that have been supporting us. So again, feel free to contact us, info@burlingtonfoodbank.ca or 905-637-2273.
If you or someone you know in Burlington could use this support right now, please email info@burlingtonfoodbank.ca or call 905-637-2273 to make arrangements to have food dropped off at your door. If you're in Oakville, there is the Fair Share Food Bank that's available to assist you. They're still operating during their regular hours for existing clients who are asked to wait outside where food will be brought out to them in the interest of health and safety during the COVID-19 crisis. Delivery is also available. To see if you qualify for assistance, please call them at 847-3988. There's also the Georgetown Bread Basket offering food and supplies to those living in Georgetown. In addition to food, they also have supplies like shampoo and conditioner. You can contact them by visiting the georgetownbreadbasket.ca. Thank you for watching. If you want more, you can find us on yourtv.tv online or follow us on social media at yourtvhalton. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Kading, and we'll be back tomorrow night live at 5:30.